A landscape like this could not long escape man's notice. The region of Overstrand in South Africa, with its mountains that plunge into the sea, has become the new paradise for developers. Residents of Cape Town willingly drive a good hour to spend the weekend here. Those who live year-round in this little village of Pringle Bay are retired people from the Afrikaans white minority and Europeans who spend fortunes to enjoy the mild Indian Ocean. It's a dream location, except for one little thing. This paradise is also Chakma baboon territory, and attempts to cohabit with them are a source of permanent conflict. The baboons are always there, somewhere up in the mountains or down in the valley, but it's very hard to find them. They don't follow any schedule, they have no regular route, and they start their day whenever they feel like it. Craig Spencer, who looks after the environment for the whole area, knows the best time to find them is when they're waking, before they leave the mountain where they've spent the night.
I'm wondering where these baboons are, quite honestly. They're just so unpredictable.
As for the baboons, they have no trouble spotting humans. Dave, as they call him round here, is the dominant male, the boss of a troop of 20 baboons who often sleep just above Pringle Bay. Dave is the oldest of them all, nearly 14 years old. A year ago, he broke his jaw in a fight with another male, which makes him look a little odd. And it's also a problem for him. In order to show his strength, a dominant male regularly needs to display the size of his canines. Now, it takes Dave a lot more effort to do this. The favorite is 3-month-old Liza. She's easy to recognize with her black fur, her rosy face, and the little wrinkles on her nose. Because she's the youngest, she's the troop's little princess. They all adore her. You can tell. When they're feeling affectionate, baboons smack their lips together, and everyone wants to touch her, inspect her, and caress her. The youngest baboons are dying to go into town, but they have to wait for Dave's go-ahead. As the rightful chief, he directs all the troop's movements. And now they're off. Climbing down isn't easy for everyone. Liza would like to be just like the adults, but she's quickly outdistanced. Luckily for her, baboons stick together. They'll never abandon one of their group. As soon as they get into town, the troop disperses, and the humans get organized. Margaret raises the flag to alert the whole village of the baboons' arrival. The youngest just want to go swimming. For them, houses are wonderful playgrounds, and dogs or humans just add a little spice.
We are guests in baboon country, so if we have a pool we have to share it, or I have to cover it. Look at him, he's just thirsty. We share the water we have, not a problem. But I don't like if they go into the house. Once we had a baboon break-in and they went straight into the house and straight to the fridge, and now I'm scared because they're trying to enter the house and the dog is behind. You! Not scared at all.
The tiniest ones love to play on the roofs. They learn about the best strategic observation points and where they can make a tactical withdrawal. Liza begins her first lesson. Her brother does her best to protect her, under Dave's watchful eye. The baboons are well aware that houses are full of food. They'll do anything to get in, always on the lookout for a door or a window which might not be closed. Nothing escapes them. And here it is. The most delicate moment is always when the owners return. There can be injuries on either side. Blinded by anger, the inhabitants will go to almost any lengths to punish the baboons, to frighten them off, or hurt them. But it doesn't do any good. The baboons run away, but they'll be back as soon as they can. As long as they can find something to eat, they'll carry on.
And I just left the door closed and
some of the people living here have had enough.
It was frightening.
So are you living permanently or just on holiday?
No, we want to move because of the baboons.
Yeah, it's terrible, huh?
Friday night they came in again.
Yeah,
what are you worried about? I'm 28 years here.
No. Enough.
What's enough? You must work with him. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to watch it very carefully.
Yeah, you can't have your windows open, you can't have your doors open. He's got to go out. It's frightening. I'm really scared to live here.
Getting humans and baboons to make peace, that's Craig Spencer's mission impossible. He's tried everything to discourage the baboons from coming into town. For a long time, he even obeyed the official line that labelled the baboons as pests. he had to shoot the most troublesome ones.
The public would pick up a phone and say, I have an issue with a baboon raiding my house or whatever it might be, and our immediate response was to go out there and blow it away with a big gun. And the public loved us for it, you know. We realized that we weren't solving the problem. The more we shot, the more we had to shoot. Because you take the dominant male out and there's anarchy, the troop splits up, it goes through town, it's raiding all over the place, there's no control. So that's why we changed our opinions and we don't shoot anymore. Now the public hates us and the baboons love us for a change. We are not very well liked in the community because everything the baboons do is our fault or my fault. Then they run to the politicians and they say Craig Spencer, the nature conservationist, is not doing his job because the baboons are still raiding my houses. The politicians come to me and I say I'm doing my job very well, thank you. My baboons are in a very good condition. You know, that is my job. This is what is written on my uniform. I'm a nature conservator. I'm not a security guard and a property protector.
Craig regularly recruits young foreign students to help him. The volunteers follow the baboons, recording data in order to better understand their behavior. These volunteers have just arrived, and Craig explains the situation. 20 years ago, the baboons never came into town, so why do they come now? What happened?
Now, we conducted a lot of research over the last few years, and what we realized is that because of the human influence on the landscape over there, it's transformed the landscape tremendously. We put in roads, which are natural fire breaks. We establish houses, we stabilize the sand dunes. A lot of alien vegetation was brought in to stabilize the moving sands. And as a result, all of these sort of broader leaved species that produce fruits and berries could establish. This suits the baboons tremendously. They can get all of their sort of nutrient and protein requirements within a shorter space of time foraging amongst the houses because of this vegetation that is established now.
Craig believes that it's entirely the fault of the humans that the baboons now eat their food rather than vegetation, because man leaves food out and makes it easy for the baboons to get it. Baboons are opportunists. They're not going to deprive themselves.
Oh boy, another hit, another day. So, oh my God. They've taken this house apart. They've been playing in this house all day, which is why I think we couldn't find them. You know, they've definitely been here for a while. But this is a holiday house, so it's not occupied, so there's not all that much food in here. But look at the mess. They've smashed bottles on the floor. What couldn't be eaten has been broken. Okay, so we'll fill in a hit book. And if you look back at the house, what do you think these people did wrong?
The window open.
Ah!
As soon as the people leave, the troop immediately comes back. Once they've found something to eat, the baboons will always return to the site, and getting human food saves so much time. 1 loaf of bread equals 4 hours searching for food in nature. They're going to have to run again. Craig has warned the owners of the house.
Craig, thank you for the phone call.
And that's only a pleasure, Shane.
And the smell and the just wanton destruction. Oh no. They're worse than a band of little children. It's almost like they're malicious. Or at least they haven't pooed on the chairs like they did last time. Oh, they have pooed on the chairs. Oh, this is so depressing. So what must we do in the future?
We recommend burglar bars on the windows if you want to keep windows open. Let's say you have a cat that comes and goes. Burglar bars on the windows, or just keep them closed. And there needs to be, curtains or blinds. Destroys a bit of the view, but it helps.
Yes, I think all those recommendations make sense.
But you're asking people to change their way of recreation, their way of life at a holiday home.
Yeah. I don't want to feel that we're living in a prison. It's bad enough living in suburbia where you've got to have high walls and burglar alarms. We don't want to have to do that here.
I know it's a bitter pill to swallow, because that stuff, I must admit, is not necessary. If you become very baboon wise, there's a lot of people that don't do that, but you need to be like seriously baboon wise. Those things will help in case you make a slip up.
Yes.
Like you leave a window open, and at least there's a burglar bar as a second line of defense. But this wouldn't have happened if that window was...
It wouldn't have happened, in fact, if I hadn't left my niece to close up the house on Sunday.
Okay, yeah.
Because I would never have left that window open.
That was a difficult window to close, in her defense.
It might have popped open.
Yeah.
Getting supplies in town means there's time for other things. Time to rest. And especially time for the most important activity of all. The one the baboons like best. Grooming. It can last for hours, and it's much more than just simple grooming. All the fleas and ticks were killed long ago. Delousing is a pleasure, which is shared, negotiated. I groom you, and in exchange, you groom me. This is how alliances and friendships are made. Liza will never leave this troop. Only the males leave one day in order to found a family within another group. The females remain together all their lives and obey the unchanging hierarchy. Liza will inherit her mother's third place in the troop. For the moment, Liza has just one priority. And all this grooming makes her a little confused. She gets a little bit lost. No, that's not the one. Eating, resting, grooming, sleeping, eating, pillaging. Such is the baboon's routine. They will never change it. What Craig Spencer hopes is to change another routine, that of the humans. And for that, he takes a firm position, with no pity. It's up to them to make the effort, even if it means learning the hard way.
We are gathering data, so we are researchers. We're not interested in chasing baboons away from people's houses, because then it's going to bias our data. It's also important that the people do get hit. It's the only way they're going to learn. It's a hard lesson for them to learn. Now there were baboons in my house. It's not who's chasing them away, it's how are you going to keep them from getting into your house. Exactly, yeah. The responsibility is theirs.
And they don't have any choice anymore. Every day, Pringle Bay looks a little bit more like a village under siege. The inhabitants have taken on a defensive mindset, resigning themselves to living behind bars, whether they like it or not. The most effective solution is electrification. A baboon who gets a shock will never forget it and won't return. Those who don't equip themselves with this arsenal are vulnerable to the intrusion of the baboons and to an experience that some find really traumatic. Such is the case of this family who went to complain to the authorities. Craig Spencer sent Christina to them. She hasn't yet had much practical experience. The baboons came yesterday, 3 or 4 of them. They simply opened the door, which wasn't locked, and raided the kitchen without causing too much damage. But since then, their little girl is afraid to go outside.
Is gister in die huis gewees. Baboone. En toe, wat het ons gemaak? Hè? Het mamma jou in die kas weggesteek? Was ons baie bang? En wat het mamma geskree? Hè? Het mamma baie gebid? Hè? Dis jy mamma, maar ons moet bid. Dis nou net nie Jesus wat ons kan help nie. Papa sê nie kom by sy harte kom. Okay, net so is reg. Net so is reg.
Is so reg. Hoe gaan dit met jou? Hè? Kom vertel gou vir die tannie van die babiane. So right. Papa sê so hoor. Dis fyn my liefie, hoor. Die tannie daar so gaan die babiane weghou van die huis af. Hoor, jy hoef nie bang te wees nie, hoor. Weet jy gedop wel gister toe jy die foon optel het?
Ek kan verstaan, die is vrou alleen hier so met hulle tweeetjies nie. Ek kan definitief verstaan dat dit moes vir u baie erg gewees het.
Dit was regtig baie erg gewees. Weet jy, ek het al voorberei op die ergste. Ek het vir gesê, ek het regtig vir Mieke gesê, mamma sit jou in die kas, as die bobbejane die deur afbreek, gaan mamma elke by jou in die kas en dan moet jy tjoep 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 stil bly. Ja. Moenie bekommerd wees, iemand gaan jou kom help. Dit is wat ek het regtig geglo die bobbejane gaan die deur afbreek.
Ja, hulle terug berg toe. Want hulle hoort in die berg, hulle hoort nie tussen ons nie. Ja. Hoekom moet ons bang wees? Ja. Jy weet, hoekom moet ek van somersiet af hierna toe jag, afsprake kanselleer, omdat alles in die huis reg gedoen was. Ons het die wering aan die deure was toe, alles is reg. Hulle kom fisies in. Môre oor môre leer een van hulle kan 'n klip gooi en 'n ry breek.
Ja, maar sien meneer, daar was die diewering voor die venster, ag die deur waar hulle ingekom het.
Ja, maar wie sal nou ooit gedink het dat Bobbejaan kan 'n deur oopmaak?
Maar u verstaan ook dat ongelukkig bly u in 'n area met Willem Bobbejaan. U besef dit.
En wat ek gaan doen, jy weet, en ek sê dit vir julle, gaan verkry ook seker die strand vir hierdie Wes-toepasters gesê, myne almal. As jy goed weer hier kom, gaan ek vir hulle skiet. En dan moet hulle my krimineel aankla as hulle hof toe gaan. Dan sal ek maar vir die hof sê, jy weet, okay, dan moet jy my maar straf omdat ek my mense wil beskerm. Ou kan nie so leef nie. En iemand moet iets doen. Want die Bobbejaan se plek is in die berg, nie in 'n mens se yskaste nie. Dis hoe ek voel.
Ongelukkig gaan u in die moeilikheid kom by die wet as u Bobbejaan skiet.
Ja, ek weet.
Is Dave really dangerous? Baboons are not predators, but they're still wild animals. Fear of baboons is linked to ignorance, because you don't know how they're going to react, nor what attitude you should take. Cases of aggression are very rare, but a 4-year-old child was seriously hurt near here because she was too close to baboons who were fighting. The way to prevent accidents, traumas, and murderous overreaction is through education of the inhabitants, and most of all, the children.
Absolutely right. People are scared of baboons. Are you scared of baboons? Yes. Are you? Now, baboons are not interested in you. They don't want to feed, they don't want to eat on you. Okay? They might want to eat what you're eating. Alright? Which food would you prefer to eat? This one. This one. Yes. You don't like scorpions? No. You don't like this? No. You don't eat scorpions? No. Grass? No. Okay, so baboons feel about it the same way as you do. They love biscuits, but if you happen to have food, don't put the food under your shirt. Don't put your food in your pocket. Because if then the baboon comes, and he's got big claws, okay, and if he comes and he scrapes you, you could get very sore, very hurt. Okay, so you don't do that. You drop it and you step away. If I've got my shirt and he thinks it's food, I will drop it. If it's a camera, I will put it down. Okay, you don't hang on to it. You can't say to the baboon, No, you don't want this. This is mine. No, because you could get very hurt. Okay. So you just leave it alone and let the baboon do what he wants to do. Okay. Drop your food. Don't even go down. Just drop your food and step back. Okay. Here's a baboon. He's come for your food. What are you going to do?
It's mid-afternoon, time for Dave's troop to go back up the mountain. Everyone follows the chief. He's the one who chooses where they'll sleep. They have 2 or 3 favorite places, always at the top of the cliffs, always all together, a family. Mandy follows closely on Dave's heels. Since she gave birth to Liza, she's gained status in the troop, and she asserts this new importance as often as she can. She never misses a chance to present herself to Dave by turning her backside towards him. It's a respectful greeting and an offering. Once at the top of the cliff, Liza still wants to play. She always finds playmates. Her best friends are the 2 little twins of the troop, who are inseparable. Night is falling. It's a time when everyone chatters a lot in the family. Everyone confirms his presence by friendly growls. Everyone is here, safe and sound, and soon all will be asleep. A new day has begun, and our baboons don't seem in a hurry to get up. As long as no one comes along to disturb their sleep, in baboon language, the male howls to remind everyone of his authority. Dave wants his troop to believe he's master of the situation. Today, he won't go down to the village. He heads in the opposite direction, towards a dry valley. Fires have been blazing for weeks in the region. The local inhabitants are worried about a new wave of pillaging, convinced the baboons can't find anything to eat in the wild. But Dave takes his troop directly into this strange desert. The fire has been a blessing for the baboons. Young, tender green sprouts have grown up out of the ashes. Omnivorous baboons can eat everything, but they don't want just anything either. They have their preferences. They know the most nourishing parts. They're extremely intelligent and sufficiently patient to peel and break up grains and plants using their hands like humans. Liza is a little bit bored. Her mother's very busy, for she has to eat 3 times more than the others in order to produce her milk. This one has just been weaned and isn't very happy about it. His mother pretends to be indifferent. She's used to his tantrums. They dig for hours in this dry earth, which at first sight looks so unpromising. They're looking for minuscule bulbs which they adore to eat. Spencer is impressed with the baboons' ability to feed themselves and tries to imitate their dexterity. It's much more difficult than he thought.
It's like really bloody deep in here. Here it is. Jeez, I'd be starving by now if I was a baboon, which I'm not. So you can imagine the advantage to the environment now. He's digging, he's making a little micro sort of climate for more seeds and things will blow in here, get trapped and germinate. Opening windows of opportunity, we call it, for other plants to come in. Ta-da! Look at that. Carbo loading. I would survive as a baboon after all.
Craig is reassured by the presence of the baboons. For him, it's proof that they haven't changed as much as the people in the village claim.
There's plenty of houses. There's even a rubbish dump that they could spend the entire day on eating yogurts and fruit and berries and things that people throw away and bread. But they don't. They come out here. This is what they want to eat. This lovely fynbos stuff. So that's why when you guys walk around, we capture that sort of data. The people say, they're now habituated and they just eat human food and they don't function in the wild anymore. We can prove them all wrong.
The ideal for Craig Spencer would be to take over the management of these burnt areas in order to keep the baboons away from the houses. In the meantime, the baboons return to the town, simply because it's easier and quicker to find food there, especially when the humans make things so easy for them. For there are houses where they are absolutely certain to find food. If they're patient enough, the door always opens eventually.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, lady. Good morning, gentlemen. Yes. Kom. Kom. Klaar. He's not so stupid. You want to get out of milk. Carry. Take your brain. Come. Charlie, you enjoy.
Craig Spencer is extremely annoyed by the selfish satisfaction felt by the people who feed these wild animals, and thus make them ever more dependent upon humans. For him, it's the worst possible attitude, and the most difficult to stop.
The reason why I'm here is that some of the adjacent property owners have complained about the fact that you are feeding the baboons. Yeah. And the sort of argument is that as long as you're feeding them here, then it attracts them down here, then they have to live in a fortress with burglar bars and things, and it's all your fault for bringing the baboons into this part of the town.
We don't feed them all the time, you know. We stopped doing it and so on. But then when they're getting older, and he came one day and he was cut to pieces, you know, from the other baboons, you know, and sat in shivery here, and it was in the winter time. Yeah, you feel sorry for the animals. So we gave him a few slices of bread, but it was nobody else. No other baboons, you know.
Legally, we can't actually stop you from feeding the baboons because it is on your property and it's a wild animal and you can feed wild animals on your property. It's a flaw in the legislation, in our opinion. We should be able to find. So you're in the clear there, but we have to be quite firm and quite strict and try and appeal to your moral side.
But the story is, they're coming here just because I'm feeding Charles. It's a bullshit story. I can prove that to anybody. If you say mustn't feed him, I'll stop it completely. But I can tell you, the baboons will still be here, and they will cause more trouble.
The baboons are getting better and better at stealing what humans don't give them. They're becoming more and more reckless. They'll take advantage of the tiniest opportunity. Almost nothing can stop them. Their latest excesses have infuriated the people here. Now, the baboons are going too far.
That's a piece of clever. I'm going to kill him. Yeah. He lift that up here. He lift that up. Take him out.
The baboons have learned how to open the doors of their houses as well as those of the cars. They even know how to remove French windows when they get in the way.
Go up that. They're taking 2 minutes time. He got a door out here.
Is it takes the door here and it pulls. And it pulls it so hard that he can get his hands behind it and he just rips it off the rail.
Holy God, please, don't make any more baboons. What can you do? There are thousands here. There are 25. There are 30. There are around 30. There's over 200 baboons. You can't kill them all. You can't kill them all, right?
In recent years, Dave's troop has been severely decimated. It's continued to decrease in size in spite of births. There used to be 30 members of the troop. Now there are no more than 20. A lot have been killed in car accidents or been deliberately targeted. Here, they found a place where humans don't scream as soon as they see them. And that seems to totally change their behavior. They stop almost every day at Kate's house. And it's not for food.
Take her away. You jealous? You jealous, my boy? No, don't. I don't. You jealous? Oh. I love bracelets and rings. You resting? Mm-hmm. They're so clean. There isn't a flea or a mite or a louse or anything. And I would put my face onto their tummy. They're so clean. It's extraordinary.
This incredible relationship began after a baboon broke into Kate's house. Kate was gravely handicapped following a diving accident when she was 15, and her health is extremely fragile, so she had every reason to be alarmed by such an occurrence.
It was the first time I had been on my own that close to a baboon in our home. That stage I was nervous. I had no idea what he would do. People had always said to me that baboons are dangerous. I knew already that you push a baboon into a corner and then they will attack. Or if you go and take their food away from, try to take the food away from, they will attack. He did everything that everybody had told us they wouldn't do. He was quiet. He only wanted food. He didn't move anything, destroy anything, break anything. I lost my fear, and that was the turning point, was that I now knew I could go anywhere. If they came close to me, I wouldn't be scared of them. I realized that although I'm disabled and therefore more vulnerable than most women, I realized I wasn't, because it has nothing to do with me being strong and like a man and able-bodied. It's got to do with your attitude. I realized that the thing that I am most, which is calm and quiet and still, is actually the best attitude to have around baboons.
It took Kate 3 years of patience to develop this relationship with the baboons. A relationship without violence, fear or anger. But it remains delicate, for at any moment a baboon could hurt her with a blow of its paw. But Kate is ready to take that risk for these magical moments which light up her life.
This is Tweedledum. He's going to loosen it too. He's got it. Let him do it. No, let him do it. Oops. Okay. No, it's gone down the side.
I've never fed them. I never will feed them. The point about feeding baboons is you're setting up an aggression between the baboons, because they don't share food. If one of them's got food, the other one wants it, and they will fight for that food. Without the food, they can be the most loving and curious animals. Put food into it, and they go berserk.
Oh, you baby.
The break is over. It's time to leave. To return to their own world. A world where there isn't a whole lot of tenderness between troops. Rivalries and territorial disputes are frequent, and Dave's troop isn't the only one in the region. Another has just arrived in Dave's territory. It's not only the vegetation that attracts them, it's something else. They're looking very closely at Dave's females. The females are in heat, as can be seen by their exaggeratedly swollen rumps. Dave is on his guard. He's aware that his place as chief is at stake. A fight seems imminent. Liza and her mother get out of the way nervously. But the baboons know that they have too much to lose by fighting. That is their great wisdom. No question of moving too fast. They prefer to observe, to size up the others, to bluff. They show off, they howl, they display their canines. But in spite of all that, Dave's females start to move off towards the handsome strangers. This is too much for Dave. It's time to remind them who is boss. He drives them roughly back the way they came. In spite of his years, Dave is still strong, and he's still in charge. The dominant male of the other troop, no doubt impressed, sends him a very clear message. He's taken a little baby in his arms, which means he doesn't want to fight. It's unthinkable for a baboon to attack a baby. Dave accepts this sign of peace, for the moment. The troop finds a bit of calm near the sea. In order to get to the beach, they have to cross through the village. They find so many distractions there that they rarely get all the way here. However, they are the only baboons in the world who enjoy seafood. Although they're stronger than a human, they have to brace themselves in order to pull off the limpets. A good crunch with the teeth, and the shells are cracked. They eat their muscles exactly as humans do, with the same patience and a certain delicacy. Over there on the Cape, the life of baboons is very different. Facing uncontrolled development, there's plenty of confrontation with humans. But a solution appears to have been found. For some years, the baboons have been taken in charge by a monitoring force, and they're handled exactly like livestock. They're permanently kept away from the houses, and on the Cape of Good Hope, away from tourists. In order to achieve this, no weapons are used, just whistles, repetitive gestures, and a permanent human presence. And years of practice. The baboons obey. But it's not always easy.
I want them to go this way because I want them to be far from the area from where the people are now. They are listening to me every time. They are naughty too much. About that, they are naughty because you must be strong. You mustn't scared of the baboon. If you are scared of them, you can't even chase them.
The technique is very effective, but it has its limitations. When the patrols are absent, when there aren't enough of them, or when they go home, the baboons immediately return to the place they like best. The parking lot of South Africa's most visited site, Cape Point. Dave and his troop needn't worry. Craig Spencer doesn't want baboon patrols. He doesn't like the idea of moving the baboons around like livestock and refuses to let up the pressure on the town's inhabitants. For him, they are the ones who can really stop the baboons reaching the food. Craig's insistence is seen as intransigence. The people feel misunderstood, neglected, to the benefit of the baboons. What they want are concrete solutions. They've had enough of this forced cohabitation, and that sometimes leads them to take irrevocable action.
For me, it's quite sad that we still have such a high level of intolerance for animals as charismatic as these, you know, that purely don't predetermine or plan to harm human beings. But it's always been the easiest thing for us to do, just pick up a gun and blow them away to solve the problem. These people will be speaking about the baboons to their grandchildren, and their grandchildren's grandchildren. Oh, do you remember when the baboons used to come? And gee whiskers, that was fun. You know, we used to see baboons on the beach, they're going to say to their grandchildren and their kids, you know. Hello, Poppet. They will know them as that thing that they hear in the mountains and are very seldom seen. I think as a species, they will be here for a very long time, but going into the coastal plain, that'll eventually stop. They'll soon realize that they go in with 50, they come out with 25. Go in with 4 limbs, you come out with 3, you know. Sad.
Craig Spencer is concerned, but he refuses to become pessimistic. He's convinced that cohabitation is possible. But it seems hard to find a solution which works both for humans and for the baboons. Dave, Liza and the others will remain opportunists, unable to resist the slightest temptation, always ready to try to outsmart the people. There's not much to be hoped for from them. They won't change. They will remain incorrigible brats. The difference is that humans can change. They can learn to control their fears, and especially they can learn to accept the baboons. They can learn to evolve.